In January 2020, the U.S. Department of Agriculture proposed new rules for the Food and Nutrition Service that would allow schools to cut the amount of fruits and vegetables required at breakfast and lunch and increase the flexibility in the vegetable subgroups. Now, this agency, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, is responsible for administering nutritional programs that feed nearly 30 million students at over 100,000 schools. So this is a lot of schools that the U.S. Department of Agriculture is influencing. And these proposed new rules will abolish the current mandates created by First Lady Michelle Obama in 2010 under the Hunger Free Kids Act of 2010. And these proposed policies will essentially create loopholes for children to eat more fatty foods such as pizza, fries, and burgers, and give schools and cafeterias more leeway so that students can eat foods that are not as nutritious. In addition to that, it would allow schools to cut the amount of fruit included in breakfast and lunches served out inside of the cafeteria from serving of 1 cup to half a cup. And that remaining cup that would be now reduced from the original serving could be used to be filled with sweet pastries or granola bars or other things, foods that are not as nutritious. And for lunches, the proposal would allow schools to offer potatoes as a vegetable every day, essentially. And we all know that potatoes are not vegetables, they are starches. So, therefore, it is significantly reducing the nutritional value of lunches for students in these schools. So, the first option would be to allow schools to offer potatoes as a vegetable no more than 3 days a week and not in place of the daily fruit service requirement. This requirement would allow the potato industry to still benefit from school lunches while also ensuring lunches remain nutritious and healthy. The National Potato Council has lobbied for changes to allow the school lunch to serve potatoes every day in place of a vegetable serving, and is also responsible for the 2019 mandate that allows schools to offer potatoes or starchy vegetables in place of fruit in weekly menus at schools. Now, this 2019 mandate was um, taken out. It was abolished essentially from school rules for lunches, but it was placed back into the current update that was created in January of 2020 by the USDA. So this option would appease the National Potato Council, which has pressured the Trump administration to incorporate potatoes into school lunches to benefit them, obviously. But this option would be beneficial to both groups. Option 2 would be to uphold the current standard serving of 1 cup of fruit required for all school breakfasts and lunch. The USDA released a 50-page school nutrition and meal cost study that analyzed the implementation of the 2010 Health Hunger Free Kids Act that was implemented during the Obama administration. And surprisingly, this study found that students were eating more nutritious diets as a result of the Health Hunger Free Kid Act. The Health Eating Index, which is essentially a measure of diet quality, rose from 49.6% for the 2009-2010 school year to 71.3% by the end of the 2014-2015 school year. So this study is proving that these standards of nutrition should be upheld to keep children's diets healthy, which is why it's really interesting that the USDA, which released this study, is then implementing changes to reverse the effects of the Obama administration. Now, I think it's very possible that the potato industry and other stakeholders are influencing or pressuring the Trump administration to change these policies put in place by the Obama administration because these policies are no longer benefiting them. Because the USDA is both the decision maker and the policy maker in this case, the most bipartisan choice would be option one, which is why we are recommending option one. Option one would allow the potato industry, which is most likely the stakeholder that is influencing the USDA to make these changes. It would allow that industry to still benefit from school lunches while ensuring that school lunches are remaining nutritious and healthy. Because the USDA and the Food and Nutrition Service is responsible for millions of children who rely on these nutritional meals every day at school, it is important that these meals remain as nutritious and healthy as possible while still acknowledging the other stakeholders in this policy.